Hello, I'm back. So, what I did in the meanwhile, I created these three formations of different leaves, right? Which could be full length also, right? But just to showcase, like I used the same leaf and created this variation. And if you see here, I created with these are like different color, and then slightly yellow, yellow plus brown, brown, and then dying, right? And yeah, and this is the like same small elements which are turning all these in, and I created this small plane on which we can bake our data here. Okay, so these so as like this space is empty, what we can do, we can you know create another one. Yep, so this is, so we utilize the space basically. Yeah, so this feel more utilized. Okay, so now there's one thing I wanted to show here. Just give me a second. So if you just search grass blade textures. Yeah. So there's a really old one which I used. This one. Yep. There's a really nice tutorial also which you can go through. Similar if you want to. Like you have to translate from 3ds Max to Blender. But if you come bottom, they have these three textures. Okay, you just go here and download it. Okay, and there are multiple bakes add-ons also. Grab dog and principal bake, I believe, which can help you bake this stuff. But we're gonna use the simple texture. I'll show you because everything is linked. It will make sense in a minute. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I come to the shading tab. Okay, and I will pick this grass. Okay, which is leaf. I said I'll bring in the grass blade and I'll put it in there. Okay, you see it mm, apply to all of the thing, but the thing is these are not unwrapped yet. Okay, so we don't need to unwrap all these, we just need to unwrap these. Okay, I'll select this all. Okay, and I will turn on the UV editor here. Okay, and come to edit. For now what I'm gonna do, I'll just unwrap, project from view, and scale to boundary. Just fit everything in there and select everything, and I can do the and scale x 6. Okay, I'm doing it roughly. Okay, scale x 8. Okay, this seems fine. Okay, now we'll just bring in all of these in there. So if I can show you here, you see current date looks like this. What I will do, I will just scale them more. So to see which, why these one are small. Yeah, so I'll select these two, scale. Just to make them, I select this one. I will bring in here in the middle. You see, we get this line and we get the thing. I can scale it in the X. Okay, so it's tiling in one direction, other direction it is not tiling, I believe, because I know I used it. Okay, right. So we got one leaf here. So we try to match the center line with this. Okay, so what you can do, you can select these vertex. Okay, and then you can wait this. think I don't know, connected only. What I'm going to do, just, the center vertex, I want to keep it on this highlighted, uh, the center edge basically. So what it will help us in defining the center line of the plant. Okay. So yeah, so this will stay in the center. So like that we can have all of them mapped as per it. Okay, where we want them. Okay, so for now what I will do, I will select all of them. Okay, maybe I'll keep this one, and I will unwrap this as well. Bring it to the center, scale it. Okay. So as you see, some variation it have, so we can move it, grab to move it up or down to change a little bit of that detail. Okay, and you can create as many variation of it. You can create a row of texture, but for now we'll use this, and you can see it's already building up. Okay, and for this is fine. Okay, for now overall, and this looks good. For me it's look good, and these also will assign the same. Okay, and I will link material. Okay, so the most of it will be, or maybe what we can do, I'll copy this, select it and paste it here, and I will search in this. I will just change the hue a little bit. Okay, so we have variation. I'll show another thing which we can do. So what I will do, I'll for now I will just assign the same, copy these materials. Okay, so these have same, and as other ones we need to just, okay, we need to map it. Okay, cool. So we have mapped these leaves at least. Okay, and we have another, we have three textures in there. So what I'm gonna do, I'll select all these, select all of them, link material, so this all stay, and I have another one which will bring in here and assign, right? Just add this type of detail, which I will keep for now. Okay, and what other thing we can do, we can bring it up. Okay, so they have different details, and lastly I'll assign, there is third one which is fully dried. Okay, and you can see it here, and you can map it up and down, and I'll assign the same to this. This one looks good. I like this one. Okay, so overall is there, and there is one more thing we can do. As you see, this is already, completed. You see it have some variation, but we'll add another variation in there. Sorry. Okay, so I'll show. So what we can do, we can There is object info. Okay, so what it have this color input. Okay, so if I show, I will say mix color. If I mix this and the color of object, right, and mix, I can do overlay, right, and I select these two, copy and add it here as well. Did it? Okay, let's try. It shouldn't work. Let's just directly drag and drop the in the base color and see if it do not show that much, or if I do not have any object index. It usually have let's try it random. Yeah, random is much better than other thing. Let's try random, and so you will see we have different color variation which we can control. I'll say 0.25. Okay, so then you get color. Let's make exaggerate it a bit so we see the variation in there. Okay, and for the dried, I'll take the random and put it here. For the dried, I'll add. Yeah, so we have some variation. You see, it's already started to build up, and we haven't made as many. We use a default one. We can play with the texture. We can use hue saturation, and we can drive this render value into hue saturation also, I believe. Let's try this out. Okay, this is a color to color, and I take this random and I say hue. So you see, so we get uh, color variation. So this we can control with. I'll take. Let's try effects, and we keep it 0.05. A slight color variation. Okay. Okay. So if you want to keep more, you can do. Okay. So that's another thing you can do in there. There's like so many possibilities which you can try. And now it's almost there now, right? And the textures are there, and we have planes which we'll use to bake. And now we need to create another thing which I forget. We can add a bump from here, and we don't have roughness or anything, so that we can create now. So roughness, we directly take the same thing, right, for now, and we'll have it in the roughness. Okay, and a bump also, take the bump node, simply take it into height, strength we reduce already, head to the normal map, right? So you see the bump and roughness, pretty nice, right? And we'll do the same in the other. Normal, and take the same and put in the roughness. And here it will be, because this is darker and this will be more shiny, and less invert color, right? Because we don't want to, and we might have to color ramp also for this at least. Okay, so yeah, so the drier part will be more, which you can tone down if you want. Yeah, looks Nice overall. And this one we can do the same thing to roughness. It's too shiny for now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna color ramp this a little bit is there, it's fine. And we're gonna and normal. So we get some surface information. So yeah, so this is our texture roughness is there. Okay, and subsurface also we can fake it, but for now this is this is it. Okay, for this part of thing, let's save it and let's try baking the texture. Actually, baking process is simple. You take the plane and then you create image. It's really simple. uh, let's try with this or this one, whichever we find is it. I'll maybe start with this. I will just create a new material on this, which is just placeholder, and we create image texture. Okay, so we have image texture. We create new, and this is like 1 meter. Okay, so like in games you use textile density. You can search online and what textile density is. So from the scale of this model, this is 1 meter. Okay, so in games we use texture density to maintain the fidelity of textures around across the environments. Okay, so the same apply for foliage also, which is ignored in so many places now. Nobody cares too much, but it is important in place. So imagine we are using 1K per meter texture density. That means 1 meter of surface should be covered by 1024 texture. So that means 1K texture is fine for this one. Okay, so we call it leaf. Okay, alpha is fine, and we control new image, and just to see it, we just have it here. Okay, now uh, the later part is really simple. You select everything. I'll turn on this one now and select the plane. Okay, you make sure you have selected this one and come to render setting, and there's cycles. Turn on, make sure you have cycles, and then you will have bake information. As I said, you can use add-ons, right? And then from here you can select the bake type. I'll say diffuse. Okay, and select it to active. That's it. And then you just make sure this is selected. I'll save it unless and bake. So it will take some time to bake. Okay, and I will pause. So let's check it out. Select this mode. Okay, maybe this is schedule. Let's try moving it up. It's the same. Select everything. Let's hit one more time. So we have our bake here. Yeah, so apparently in here you have to place it on top of the thing. And let's check. Select the material and we come here. Mm, in the where's the alpha? Let's check it out. Where is it go? And this alpha and the 4 they have changed so much. Alpha is here. Sorry. Yeah. What? Wait, big the alpha like that. Or do we have to turn off the? I think we have to turn off the margin so we don't get this weirdness. Okay, so let's do it one more time. I will turn this size off, select everything. Okay, selected it and bake. So here, and for some reason it's getting dark. So what another thing we can do, we can assign this emissive and we can bake emissive also. this, and one last time, I'll test it out. Okay, so if we don't, then we'll do the assign it to emissive and pick the emissive, and let's test out the normal map for now. Normal, and I will quickly pick. And this after this is like straightforward. It's just like you use the same thing, and so it keeps selecting the image and just bake the textures. It's like one by one from here. Like you bake uh, a different like roughness is there, normal is there, and transmission. If you create same way using color ramp, put it into transmission, and you can bake the transmission also. And yep, so these are the maps you need. You need base color, normal map, roughness, and SS is the main, and alpha is already we are getting. Okay, so I will bake on the backend. I will bake all this texture and even the smaller one. Okay, and once I have, we'll create the same plant again. Okay, so we create the plant using the textures, big textures, and I will explain why I created these two. Right, we create the plant from both of them, like we use the smaller ones to create these larger leaves. Right, we do the same with this smaller pack here. Okay, man, that's look ugly, but this is the maximum I believe Blender can do. Maybe there are like samples. Samples are fine. It's it's not highest quality, but I will forgive it for now. Okay. So we can use external big like X normal. If it's not good, the X normal is fine, which is free. And what other option? Like we can use the tools, but tools again use Blender as a base. But I'll use these textures only. Okay, I'll bake all of them, and the next one we'll start creating the tree itself. Okay, sorry, the plant itself.